right, welcome everybody to the Cliff Ellis Show. I'm Dave Ackert, the sports director here at WMBF. Welcome, and I want to wish everybody a happy new year and holiday season. And we're joined here with Cliff Ellis. Coach Cliff, I wanted to take a step backwards before we went forward to this season. Obviously a little, maybe around the halfway point of the season. Looking back, in our last episode, you mentioned Thanksgiving dinners, Christmas dinners, guys come back, maybe a little out of shape. And we're through the holiday season now. Things kind of even out here. What was that like, getting the guys through the holiday season?
Well, it was an interesting scenario because one of our players, who's a key player on our team, Antonio Day, had to sit out because of the transfer rule, and we didn't get him till 2 games before Christmas. So we changed our team, and through that process, your chemistry changes somewhat, and we're basically now just getting where we've got our entire team together. We had some good wins, in particular the South Dakota wins were excellent with regards to our team, and I think those were big pluses for us. And then I thought the game with Winthrop on the road was a huge win, and then we played a tough schedule, probably as tough a schedule as we've seen, but we did have Christmas meal together before they left. We played on the 19th of December against College of Charleston. We came back on the 25th, and of course we played Louisiana and we played Georgia Southern as we come back, and we'll talk about those. But it was interesting preseason, toughest schedule. Didn't have our whole team together. We're now in the process of in-conference play, and it's a tough league.
You mentioned the tough schedule, and one team I wanted to kind of mention just earlier this week, Charleston jumped into the AP Top 25 for maybe people that didn't know at home. What was that like, playing a Top 25 caliber opponent? Well,
we felt they were Top 25 when they came here. I didn't understand how Virginia Tech was ranked ahead of them when College of Charleston had beaten them. So we knew they were that type of basketball team. And then we look at the Missouri team that we played and just see what they did and how they annihilated Kentucky. We played 2 teams that are basically just top power teams. And as we go forward, we've got 3 teams. We got 2 teams in our league right now ranked in the top. This is a new day for us with all the new teams in the league, which we'll expand on here in a little bit. I think Coastal Carolina is looking at looking at probably the best league they've ever been a part of. And this is a stellar year, I think, for the Sun Belt. So many good teams.
Yeah, and speaking of the Sun Belt, we're going to get to that in a little bit, and I want to take a moment here we talked to some of the players about the first half of the season. We'll get to that here after the break, and we'll be right back.
The Cliff Ellis Show is sponsored by Beach Realty, HTC, and Waccamaw Land and Timber.
Where's Olivia?
Upstairs taking a bath. You think he's cute? He's in 2 of my classes.
Oh, sugar, you're about to have a mess on your hands. Upstairs, you got about 40 gallons of water that's getting ready to destroy your ceilings and your floors.
Olivia, tub, now. Geez, that was a close one.
Glad to help, honey. But let me tell you, when it comes to those teenage hormones, you are on your own. Trouble doesn't always come with a warning. You can rely on A&I.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
HTC is here to connect you to the things that matter most in your life. With the area's largest fiber optic network, HTC is here with the fastest speeds to help power your day. Do a little multitasking. Keep the peace. All to help your day run smoother than ever before. See how HTC is here to connect you to your world and take advantage of these great offers today.
The Cliff Ellis Show is sponsored by HTC, Logan Steakhouse, and United Bank.
My name is Jamaru Brown. I'm a grad transfer from Eastern Kentucky University, and I play combo guard. So.
Okay. And I guess first question, I was going to save this for a little later, but just a good year to have the last name Brown on this team.
Yeah.
How has that been? And are you guys gelling at maybe the halfway point of the season?
Yeah, we're pretty close. We kind of, like, during the summertime, we spend a lot of hours together in the gym. And, you know, we got a pretty good connection. We're both scorers, you know what I'm saying? We both have, like, a chip on our shoulder, you know what I mean? We try to show that every game and try to get the job done as best we can, so.
The team in general, what was it, 3 returners, right? So mostly transfers this year. What was that like? And if it was, you know, hard to gel in the beginning, is it better now?
Yeah, it's definitely better. It's kind of, we're building it day by day, honestly. We're not all the way together right now, and so, you know what I'm saying, like, that's what any team in the country, though, you know what I'm saying, we could try to, you know what I mean, by March, we want to see if we can be the best team that we could be, and but it's a day by day thing, and we're light years away from where we were in the summer, so it's pretty good.
So that constant improvement, obviously something you want to work on. It was kind of one of the questions I've been asking is, knowing there's only one bid come the tournament, how do you kind of turn things up or put things on a track right now to get to that point? Like you said, you want to be playing your best ball in March. What do you do on a daily basis to get to that?
Prepare. Try to buy into the program, just buy into what Coach is saying. Coach Ellis, he knows his stuff, you know what I'm saying? So we try to buy into everything he's saying, and then just, like you said, just like the chemistry of the team, we just got to get that in the everyday and try to, you know what I'm saying, see where it could take us. And I think it could take us a long way.
You mentioned Coach knowing a lot of stuff. That's kind of one of the things I've been asking too, is he's been around longer, I mean, coaching longer than I've been alive even. How does that feed into practice, and how do you learn from somebody like that?
Honestly, he's a great guy. So you love for your leader, you love for the leader to be a great guy and an understanding person. And so just having him in the day-to-day, you kind of see how he acts and how, you know what I'm saying, he act like he knows his stuff, and his whole demeanor is just like, he has a really good demeanor about himself. And that was one of the big things for me, like coming here, you know what I'm saying, talking to him and having a relationship with him, and also seeing the guys that he has had before, this guy still coming in, that his former players could still coming in, respecting him, pretty much saying that he's one of the guys that, you know what I'm saying, they kind of they looked up to him, you know. So, and these are grown men talking about they still look up to a coach, and that's a pretty big thing, especially for a coach-player relationship. So, and I think that's one of the things where it's like the everyday. It's pretty good. So
that actually stuck out to me in the preseason press conference. People kept asking, you know, you've been coaching for so long, why do you keep doing it? And I think he said a couple of times, he really likes just mentoring people and humans. And was that one of the things that almost helped get you in the door, or?
No, for sure. And I mean, honestly, it's all in the track record. One of my things was I wanted to go to a good program where they kind of had like a pretty good culture and they win games, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's one of the things. Also, his record was one of the things, and the relationship I had with him is one of the things where I just wanted to be a part of, you know.
His track record is incredible. Even with this team, it was when they were in the Big South, but they've made the dance twice. Mm-hmm. He's made the dance, 8 times, a couple Sweet 16s. Does that give you guys confidence in the back of your head, knowing it's possible?
It does, especially even though we haven't been able to, like, late game. We've been in a few situations where we had to execute, and it's honestly, we're not gonna get it. It's not just gonna click like that. So it's just with time. You know what I'm saying? Early now, we've been in battles. So just seeing, it's just honestly buying in. You still having to buy into what he's saying, and down the line, conference play, I think those things are going to be big for us at the end of games, and just knowing that he knows what he's talking about is going to be big for us. So.
Specifically, I don't want to bring up a bad game, but the Wofford game just recently, close. I mean,
very close.
And that Wofford team has been really good the last couple of years. Does that help you go heading into the break? I mean, I know you guys have a game on Saturday, but obviously you never want to lose.
Exactly.
But how does that help?
Just honestly, for me, being a veteran player as well, just I want to win. I'm a really big competitor, and those type of games are the games that I would take over a 20-point blowout any day, honestly. So just understanding that, and me being one of the leaders on the team, I kind of like I want to be in those situations, which is good, but also we all have to want to be in those situations as a team, you know what I'm saying? So if one person, it's never going to be just, okay, I understand what has to happen at the end of the game, at the end of a close game to win. We all have to know what we need to do at the end of a close game to win, and that's get big stops at the end of the game, and also, you know what I'm saying, get good shots and good buckets too. So I think that's one of the things that we lacked in the last few close games, and I think that's something that we're going to grasp towards the end of the season as well.
You mentioned you guys are leaps and bounds from where you were in summer. Almost to your point there, knowing who needs the ball or what play to run there at the end of a game. Do you think you guys are going to be leaps and bounds come February or March?
For sure, especially especially when we have Antonio Day back, and so with me and him being veteran guards, and it could be either one of our hands at the end of the game, and we should be able to in games defensively and offensively, honestly. So
awesome. Anything you want to add maybe that I missed?
Yeah, all the fans, all the Coastal fans, just please could come out to the games to keep supporting us, and we're gonna get it. We're gonna get this thing done. So.
The Cliff Ellis Show is sponsored by A&I Fire Restoration, Great Southern Wood, and Britton Law Firm.
HTC is here to connect you to the things that matter most in your life. With the area's largest fiber optic network, HTC is here with the fastest speeds to help power your day. Do a little multitasking. Keep the peace. All to help your day run smoother than ever before. See how HTC is here to connect you to your world, and take advantage of these great offers today.
Another trial, another battle. Where's your strength? Tenacity. What's your history? Fighting for my clients in court. But what sustains me now is working with three of the finest individuals I've ever known. My family. There's power in family. Power for our clients. Fighting for your rights is my family's business.
Britton Law. Hand-cut USDA choice beef. Expertly butchered by Logan's in-house professionals and grilled to perfection over mesquite wood fire. Yeah, that's steak done right. Don't want steak? Logan's mesquite flame-grilled, fresh, never-frozen chicken and wild coho salmon are sure to please. Logan's, fresh food, cooked to perfection just for you. The Cliff Ellis Show is sponsored by HTC, Logan Steakhouse, and United Bank.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Cliff Ellis Show. Dave Ackert here with Cliff Ellis. Coach Cliff, we're transitioning now, flipping the calendar over to 2023. We got our first couple games under our belt in the new year. What it's like maybe just coming into Sun Belt play, now that we're started, got our feet wet in the Sun Belt. First initial thoughts on going into conference play.
A huge win against Louisiana Lafayette because they're picked number one in our league, and we were able to just pull it off. Had a lot of resiliency in this basketball game. The shine came off, however, when we faced Georgia Southern on Saturday, and Georgia Southern came in and played a wonderful game, not known as a three-point shooting team, yet they shot the three, and you build your scouting reports around what you think the weaknesses of a team is, and we wanted them to have to beat us from three, and they did. That's kind of the way the league I think is going to be, and now we hit a stretch of 4 games that are just terror. It's always been tough against App State. Marshall is a super team, and so is Old Dominion and teams that we play the following week. So we've just got our hands full. It's a learning experience for us with these new teams because I think these 3 teams that come into the league, any one of them can win it. They're all in the top 5 of our league. You take them out, and last year I think it's pretty much a toss-up with Louisiana Lafayette having an advantage. So losing all the players we lost to the transfer portal and only having 3 players back, I think has been a disadvantage for us because Georgia Southern, they had 6 seniors that had been there that are familiar with the game. Louisiana Lafayette, Marshall, their team is loaded with senior type players, and that's what we're facing with an inexperienced team. So we're just going to have to strap it on, get our team to be the best that we can be as we go into the conference tournament, because we really and truly, with getting Antonio Day back, we're really just now getting it. What if we played 4 games, whether the other teams have played like 13? Because the dynamics change when you change your lineup. So anyway, that's what we're going through and fighting. As long as our players fight, scrap, do the best they can, then I think we'll continue to get better and better as we go.
You mentioned kind of the new Sun Belt, quote unquote, we'll call it. What is it like from like a watching film and scouting perspective? Usually teams in your conference. What does that take?
Well, now you've got 3 new teams, and we're playing all 3 of them. We play them 6 games. I guess the flip of that is they don't know us either. So it's a lot more film work. It's a lot more digging in. Okay, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Who's this player? Who's this coach? What's the system? Because you have a file that thick on the teams that you played in the past, and you can just go to it, pull it out, okay, and just add the new players. And they do it with us too. So interesting time. It's going to be one heck of a conference tournament in Pensacola. One heck of a conference tournament. I will say this to everybody watching and listening. I've been in the SEC and in the ACC, and have been part of teams that have won both leagues. This league right here will match up with those leagues in this particular year for the most part. I'm going to say that this league may even be stronger than perhaps the ACC outside of a couple of teams.
Right, except for the top of some leagues.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the way I see it from what I've seen. And, I think, again, as Coastal Carolina grows in basketball, we have to learn, as we have throughout Coastal Carolina's history. You start, it started in AIA, it built up, went to Division I, played in the Big South. At the end of the Big South, we were the dominant team. Now we've come into the Sun Belt, and it's been difficult. Now it becomes more difficult. But the key in that, Dave, is the fact that the transfer portal and the NIL has totally changed this game. Totally changed it. Not necessarily for the better, because I don't think the transfer portal is the way I would design it up. The NIL is what it is, but we've become a professional franchise. And, You know, I've never come back with a team that only had 3 players coming back, and that's what the NIL and transfer portal did to us. So we have to learn from that, not only from the coaching staff, but for Coastal Carolina University, that this is a new day. We've got to, as fans, and we've got to, as administrators, as coaches, say, okay, this is a new day. What have we got to do to move forward?
Right. And you mentioned one of these games, but I wanted to hear your thoughts. Maybe walk me through the final minute of the 77-76 win against Louisiana.
Yeah.
What it's like coaching in a game like that, and then, I mean, close wins like that, what that means coming down the season.
Well, it's huge. We were down 10. We were up 10 in the first half. We dominated the first half. Second half, it was all Louisiana. We're down 10. We've got to make a comeback. You get in the last 3 or 4 minutes, you know you have to get every stop, and you got to make every play. And then in the end, as we get down to it, we hit a big 3. Antonio Day hit a big 3. They went to a zone, they hit a big 3. We go down the floor, and this is why it's called a game of inches or whatever. The ball's knocked out of bounds. The initial call is that it's Louisiana's ball. So we're talking in terms of, okay, while the video's going in, okay, this is what you do on defense, this is what you do on offense. Okay, so, you know, we go down and boom, we get the ball, we score, now it's not over, you know, it's not over. We're up, I think Jabari Brown goes and hits 1 free throw, and, you know, different scenario, a 3, it doesn't matter whether it's a 2 or 3. So we put all of our big guys, if you look on the floor, all of our big guys are on the floor for one reason. We're going straight up length, and we're trying to make it, and it worked. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
And you know, just those close games down. How much does that help the team when
you're gonna go through
to March, I guess?
You're going to go through those. I mean, that's just the way it is. Most of these conference games are going to go down the last 4 or 5 minutes, and you've got to go through those types.
You've mentioned 2 of the names already, in Isam Mustafa and Antonio Day. It seems like Brown. It seems like you have a lot of depth this year. Any guy can have 15, 20 points any given night.
Well,
what does that mean for you?
Well, it's big, but what that means is the next team is going to go out and try to stop those guys. So we've got to make sure the more balance you have, the better. So you want that. Jabari Brown gets 28 on Thursday, gets shut out on Saturday. Somebody else has got to step up.
Right. All right, very interesting stuff, and we're going to wrap things up here, get a couple final thoughts from Coach on a big, tough road stretch for the team here in a little bit, right when we come back.
The Cliff Ellis Show is sponsored by Logan Steakhouse, Great Southern Wood, and A&I Restoration.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Hand-cut USDA choice beef, expertly butchered by Logan's in-house professionals, and grilled to perfection over mesquite wood fire. Yeah, that's steak done right. Don't want steak? Logan's mesquite flame-grilled, fresh, never-frozen chicken and wild coho salmon are sure to please. Logan's, fresh food, cooked to perfection, just for you.
Waccamaw Land and Timber has been serving the Grand Strand since 1982. The ultimate goal of Waccamaw Land and Timber is to achieve the best interests of both the buyer and the seller. We can handle all of your commercial real estate needs. But if you're just looking for a place to relax, hunt, or fish, the professionals at Waccamaw Land and Timber can find you the perfect recreational property as well. Call 843-449-0441 to discuss your real estate needs with Waccamaw Land and Timber.
Where's Olivia?
Upstairs taking a bath. You think he's cute? He's in 2 of my classes.
Oh, sugar, you're about to have a mess on your hands. Upstairs, you got about 40 gallons of water that's getting ready to destroy your ceilings and your floors.
Olivia, tub, now. Geez, that was a close one.
Glad to help, honey. But let me tell you, when it comes to those teenage hormones, you are on your own. Trouble doesn't always come with a warning. You can rely on A&I.
The Cliff Ellis Show is sponsored by Beach Realty, Waccamaw Land and Timber, and United Bank.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Cliff Ellis Show. We wrap things up here, Coach, with the team in the middle of, to say the least, a tough road stretch here. 4 games in a row on the road. You don't play again at home until January 19th. You didn't play at home until the first week of January.
Right.
What is that like, having the team just be on a tough, traveling across the country from Georgia to West Virginia?
It's all over the map, isn't it? And of course the league is spread out. That's why 14 teams, and now you can understand what West Virginia feels like when they're going to Texas Tech or things like that. Just a lot of travel. This is the toughest part of our schedule because we've got 4 straight games against 4 teams. Let's just face it: App State, Marshall, Old Dominion, Georgia State. Those are just top flight teams, and these are games we call it, you have to go in and try to steal them because we'll probably not be favored in any game that's on the road with the way that these teams are. But you got to go in, dig, scrap, fight, and get through it, and not get your dauber down if it doesn't go your way. And if you win some, don't get too high. Don't get too high. Don't get too low.
And then, so Coach, when we come back January 19th, what we want the fans.
Oh, well, we get students back.
I was going to say, over the holidays.
We'll have the cheerleaders, we'll have the band. It's just pretty much in basketball, you're about a month where you just play basketball. But it's the same when you go to other places, too. So you can't say it's just that way at your place. Of course, when we went to a place like Missouri, it didn't matter. Those people are so fired up. Power Fives is different. But you just have to dig in and scrap it out. And, it makes you better. The big thing is conference tournament basketball, and that's what you want to be able to win 3 or 4 games there and get your team ready to roll.
Is it almost a good thing too to get this home stretch in the time when you mentioned maybe they might not have as many students around? Is that it's always tough to play on the road?
I think the games are tough no matter what the circumstances are. You just play them. Hey, if it's raining outside and you're playing on a clay court, let's play. Period. That's the way I look at it.
Right. So, like we said, the team in the middle of a tough stretch here. But one thing I think we did want to mention, Coach, is maybe we had some news recently.
Yeah, I want to wish the Ron Engel family their best. My thoughts and prayers are with you during this time. He was a former president here at Coastal Carolina, and we all wouldn't be here without what he has done for the program and done for this university. So let's give our thoughts and prayers to Ron and his family.
Right. As you mentioned, it takes the whole community and the whole university anymore.
Right.
Your support with the NIL, and we're all in this together.
Yeah, that's right.
It's so an interesting time, and we're going to talk to Coach again next week, and we'll have a preview and a look back at the games that we've played. Coach, I appreciate it once again.
Thank you, and Happy New Year.
It was a pleasure. Happy New Year, everybody, and I hope you join us next time on the Cliff Ellis Show.